When the calculator was introduced, there were a group of people who were totally against the use of calculator and in solving mathematical equations. Today, there are more advanced calculators, including the ones that you could have on your phone, and they allow individuals to use calculators even at the exams hall. And people will consider you not to be smart enough or to be wasting time if you try to calculate some complex, additions or multiplications without using a calculator to make life simple and easier for you. The same is happening with AI. And of course, when the internet came, a lot of people were against it. Today, if you're not on the internet, you're considered not to be, more or less like a modernized individual. Same with a computer. Now there is AI, artificial intelligence. So there's a back and forth on it. Is it ethical? Is it good to use it? Is it not good to use it? Especially when it comes to the field of academia. Today we have a very well versed individual who knows how to give the proper command that will make you use AI ethically in your study abroad process. The study abroad process could be a little bit lengthy when you have to write a lot of emails, write a lot of essays, also search for schools and stuff like that. Now, what if this AI could be used to make some of the processes easier and faster for you? If you could use the AI in your study abroad process, how should you even use it? Is it possible that, we've seen instances. If you could use the AI in your Okay, so we've seen instances where individuals use AI in writing their essays, and then the admission is denied and all that. So, Fred, is it possible that I could use AI in my study abroad process? And that is what we are going to discuss today. This is the biggest study abroad content platform. We are live on TikTok. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, X, and also Instagram. Wherever you want to watch us, this will be helpful. My guest today is Dr. Kofi. Hi, Dr. Kofi. How are you doing?
Yeah, hi, Senior Fred. I'm good. I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's been a lot of planning behind the scenes and all that, but finally we are on.
Yeah, good.
Right. For people seeing your handsome face for the first time, kindly introduce yourself, a quick introduction about you, and then we get going.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Kofi. Like they know me on TikTok as Kofi Doctor. I'm a civil structure engineer by training. I would say I'm a study abroad and travel enthusiast.
Awesome.
Today,
Awesome.
we all have heard about AI. I'm sure everybody might have used it in one instance or another. So
Mhm.
I'm just going to be showing some of the ways by which you can use AI ethically in your study abroad process. I, I will not say I'm an AI expert. I'm not an AI expert. I'm just a regular AI user, and I've gone through the process, and and I feel like you might be able to use the AI to do a number of things during your whole study abroad journey. Yeah.
All right, we'll delve into it. Remember, there are different sections of the podcast. We come your way with application fee waiver of the week. We also come your way with the University of the Week as well. And we have some great news to share with you about the study abroad process. Of course, if you are currently working on your process and you're looking for visa interview days, I'll be speaking with an ex-visa officer on May 2nd. Don't mix that. The Fred Effect team has a collaboration with Argo Visa. Argo Visa is a team of ex-visa officers, and one of our most viewed video, which has like 1.4 million views, have assisted, has helped a lot of people who are preparing for the visa interview. So on May 2nd, I'll be talking to an ex-visa officer. If you're preparing for a visa interview, set this on your calendar. You don't want to miss it. All right, Dr. Kofi, let's delve into it. Delve into it. Can I share the screen right now?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
We don't have the presentation showing, but if I can go ahead. Okay,
Okay.
so there we
It's
go. All right. So now let's leave everything to Dr. Kofi. If you are listening to us, take your notebooks. This is a learning platform. Now we are going to learn. If you want to study abroad, you don't know how to start, wherever to start from. How do you use AI to enhance your entire process, getting admission, getting scholarship? Dr. Kofi, let's get going.
okay. Yeah. So just like I said, today's podcast might be a little bit different because I want to show and then demonstrate how you can use AI in this whole study abroad process. So I'm going to be touching on the different parts of the study abroad process. I'll be going through a presentation, but as part of the presentation, I will be showing first on how you'll be able to use AI for the various kinds of stuff. So just like the study abroad process, I embarked on this journey also some 16, 17 years ago. The process might not have changed much. Uh, a lot of the challenges at the time, the challenges at the time was different from the challenges that you have now. Now there is a lot of information already for you to be able to do this, to study. Previously we didn't have that. So what I always tell people is, if you have a dream that you want to do this, you should always stop dreaming and then start doing something. AI, I'm sure a lot of you might have heard about AI before. So I'm not going to go back and tell you what AI is. So I will be zooming in right to the study abroad process. So first, I call it Kofi AI because, yeah, I'm Kofi. So I will describe that as Kofi AI. So first thing that I will do is, anytime you go to any AI prompt, you have to describe yourself and what you want the AI to do for you. So if, let's say, you are a potential student who wants to embark on this whole study abroad process, then you would have to describe yourself to the AI as such. And when I say that, you'll be able to describe yourself to AI as, maybe I am Kofi Doctor. I hold a bachelor's in so and so. I have a GPA of that. I have these awards. Then you let the AI know who you are. So right from there, any other commands that you would have to input into the AI knows who you are. Another thing I would say is that, just like Fred was saying, when the calculator came, there was pushback. AI is here. It is not going anywhere. We just have to incorporate AI into our work to make it more efficient. So what I can say is that AI should support your intelligence. It should not replace it. So no matter how smart you think AI is, you are smarter than the AI. So you should be able to use AI to support your intelligence. Another thing you also need to know is that AI cannot tell your story. AI doesn't know about your experience. He doesn't know what you've gone through. So it cannot tell your story. So you should own your own story throughout this whole study abroad journey. And AI as a helpful tool, because it is going to help you improve a lot of things in your whole package. But note that academic integrity is of utmost importance. If you want to embark on graduate studies, the key is academic integrity. You don't want to be copying people's work and all that, plagiarism and all that. You don't want that. So schools are hard on the use of AI, especially if you are not using it for the right things. So without wasting much time, I will go in as to some of the things you can use AI for. So first, I will say you can use AI as your own personal research assistant. You can use AI as your own personal research assistant. When I say that, what do I mean? You can use AI to suggest programs for you based on your area of study. Most of the times, people come on our live and they come in and they will be asking questions like, "Oh, I have a degree in so and so. Can you suggest some programs for me, or can you suggest some schools for me?" This is a very simple question that can be answered by even our good old Google and the current AIs that we have. So you should use AI to suggest programs based on your area of study. It can also identify universities that match your GPA. You can use it to research for assistantships and funding. And I will say you can use AI as your own personal admissions consultant. So without wasting much time, we will go to, so what I'll do is I'll talk about what you can use AI for, and then I will demonstrate what I mean by that. So the first prompts that we'll be looking at will be the AI for program search. So let's say you had just completed your bachelor's degree. You have plans of embarking on the graduate school journey for your master's. You might have a little money somewhere, but it might not be much. And so you want universities where tuition is under 20,000. You could input a simple command like this. So I will just copy this. I'm going to use GPT because that is more common. So you just come, and I'm not going to type everything from scratch because that will take our time. So I will go list 20 universities in the USA offering a master's program with tuition under 20K. You see, this is very vague because I didn't specify which master's program that I'm looking at. So I might have to add, let's say, master's program in chemistry. That will make it a little bit more specific. I don't know if those there can see. I can make it a lot bigger. Senior Fred, do you think this is okay?
Yes, it's very clear.
Okay, yeah. So
Very,
let's
very
say list 20 universities in the USA offering a master's program in chemistry with tuition under 20K. So once I search, I didn't want to log in. I don't know why it wants me to do this. Excuse me.
okay.
I
So
didn't
while
want to do this
yeah,
because,
and I know that. So whilst we try to fix that, my co-host
yeah,
of Ben's, Dr. Kofi, will continue. Dr. Kofi will be giving us the, and you should be writing them down. And remember, this video will still be live across all our social media platforms. So later on, if probably you are watching somewhere in Trotro, you are listening to us, whilst you're working, no problem. This will still be live across all the Fred Effect social media platforms, and then you'll be able to write these prompts down on when your free time. You give these prompts to the AI tool that you want to use. Remember, we are using ChatGPT by a lot of them. There is Gemini, there is Grok, there is a lot of them. So that is it. We are trying to understand as things continue to change. The other time I posted on Facebook that how was Kwame Nkrumah and Co able to study abroad? How they did things, that time is very different from how we do things now. And so during my time, there were things which are a bit different. For example, I-20, they used to, post I-20 all the way from the US to Ghana. So you can wait like a month for your I-20 to arrive before you start visa process. Now they send it via email, right? They used to be letters and stuff like that. People send emails now. So the world is changing. And as somebody who wants to study abroad, you have to get used to the tools, the ideas, information that could make things easier for you. Dr. Kofi, whenever you're ready, we
yeah,
can we can
yeah,
get
I'm good here. Yep.
good.
So back to
So,
the prompt that I had put in. I said list 20 universities in the US offering master's program in chemistry with tuition under 20K. And note that I specified 20. The program is chemistry and the tuition is under 20K. So what GPT does is they are currently sampling responses. So GPT is giving me two different responses for this, and they want me to go through both of them. But then just by that command, see what I have here. 20 affordable US universities for masters in chemistry, and then the list goes. Very affordable. This is the range. So there is even two set of answers. So you see, I'm very sure some of you might not have heard of Youngstown State University before. Brigham Young. So the list goes on, and GPT has categorized it into very affordable. That's between 9K to 15K with the list of schools here. Affordable with another list. I asked for 20, and then under 20K, another list of schools. So just by inputting this simple command, you have this info. So if let's say one powerful thing about these AIs is that at the end of it, it will even make suggestions for you. That do you want me to, because you are looking at these schools, he's thinking, oh, what if your GPA is low? Do you want to do that? Yeah, maybe I'm curious. I have a low GPA. So what can you do for me? So I can go on, keep the conversation going, filter this list to unis. So ChatGPT gave the command already here. I could just copy it and then paste it just to see if I have a low GPA, and then you go. So this is the first prompt. So I filtered your earlier schools to only those realistically who will accept a GPA of 2.7 to 3.0, just like you can see here. And you have the results here. So what I tell people is that after GPT gives you these results, you would have to go to the the actual page of the university. So if this is, let's say, San Jose State University, right? They're saying they will support, they will admit with a minimum GPA of 2.5. I can go to good old Google, go to San Jose State University, check Department of Chemistry, check the admission requirements. Most times there is a link here. You could just click on it, it will take you there. There is it. So completion of a bachelor's degree with an overall minimum GPA of 2.50. So you see, if it was not for AI, I'm very sure you might not have even heard of this university before. And there is no way you will know they will accept a minimum GPA of 2.5. Yeah. So there are other ones listed, and then depending on the GPA ranges, like you can see here, Illinois State University showing GPA 2.8, Youngstown. So just like that, the list follows. So all these are very important. The reason why, and GPT is going further to tell you why they have removed some of the schools from the list, because these schools will require 3.0 typically. So with this, what we always keep saying is that I feel like there's a school for everyone in the US. Even if you have 2.5, you'll be able to get into a school. You might not know, maybe you might not know the program that will be offering that will be accepting that 2.5 GPA. But with these AIs, they will be able to at least give you an idea where all these programs are found. I think I'm gonna have to rush through it because it's a lot. So the next command will be, if let's say we want to list universities in the US that will offer assistantships for the same masters in chemistry. So let me pick the second command back to my GPT. So let's say this time around, I'm asking for a list of universities in the USA that will offer assistantships for masters in chemistry for students with a GPA of, let's say, 3.2. So that's the prompt. Let's see what GTP will give us. So there's a nice list going further to even include, you see here, all admitted grad students. So that is a hidden gem right there. So this is telling you that once you apply to University of Wyoming and you get into the program and you are admitted, you are getting a 25,500 stipend, full tuition, insurance. You can confirm this information from the university website if it's true. Like I always say, after you've gone through all this, go to the school's page to verify. So that's the list. That's a strong list. And the heading here is full strong funding, very high chance of assistantship, high probability. That's the list. Selective but possible. So here, good GPA like yours helps. So you are getting all this with just a command. Then one thing is talking about your GPA. A GPA of 3.2, GPT says that it's a sweet spot. With that GPA, you'll be competitive for TA and RA, especially at regional public universities. So if there's the first time you're hearing this word regional public universities, that can also be another GPT prompt. That maybe what does regional universities mean and how will they be useful in my study abroad process? So you'll be able to generate leads based on the results that GPT gives you. There are other things. What determines funding? All that. GPT was able to even craft a strategy for me based on the information I provided it. So he said maybe I should apply to 4 high funding schools. I should try 4 to 6 good probability schools and 2 to 3 ambitious schools. Anytime I see this, I laugh because sometimes GPT will tell you to apply to 30 schools. I don't know if they think we have the money, but yeah, but you see, if they say you should try 4 high funding schools, 4 to 6 good probability school, and 2 to 3 ambitious, just like you have it.
Kofi,
I'll go on to the next
Kofi,
point. Yeah.
Kofi, can I come in small?
Yeah.
So if you can go to the chat GPT, I want to.
Okay, I'm here.
So this is where my concern is. You see, if you want next step, it's like it doesn't rest. Anytime
No,
you give it response and it gives you answer, then it's like it is hiding the genuine answer. So can you explain that dynamics of the ChatGPT?
no. You say it is hiding the genuine answer, but then look at the prompt that we give it. It actually provided us the answer, but it
No,
is giving
that's
us
how
the
I feel sometimes, because you look
aha.
at the if
So,
you want.
so the reason why you might not be nailing down to your answer might be the prompt, how you are prompting it.
Okay.
Your prompting is key. So GPT might know this is what you might be looking for, but because it is trained, they use these words, tokens, whatever. All these people who do machine learning and AI and training, all of that, they can explain better. But they know maybe this is what you are looking for. But the kind of prompt you are giving it, it's not able to give you that right from the bat. So it will make suggestions for you, trying to think what you might be looking at. So you will just have to keep going. As we can see here, he said, okay, if you want next step, I can take this further and match these schools to your GPA. Identify professors, draft emails to secure. So these are all suggestions. So depending on maybe what you might be looking at, let's say you want to go further and match these schools to my GPA. I will just copy and then paste it because I don't have time to type all this. And then it will do that for me. So it becomes more like an unending process. So I understand where you are coming from because it will keep suggesting things to you. Yeah, it will keep suggesting things to you. So that's what we have here. It is still reading. So back to here. The next will be there are a number of prompts, so I will have to rush through it a little bit, but then you can stop me so that we provide the context. So similarly, suggest competitive universities in the USA for my GPA of 2.76 with funding opportunities. So let's say that here so that it clears everything. So suggest competitive universities in the USA for my GPA of 2.76 with funding opportunities. So note, if I am to send this, one, I didn't talk about the program. So GPT will ask, so which program are you talking about? So to help GPT do the work right for you, it will be better to add a program. So suggest competitive universities in the USA for my GPA of 2.76 with funding opportunities for a master's program in, let's say, chemistry. Yeah, so GPT is saying my 2.76 is borderline for chemistry masters. But then these are possible places I can look at. So the list, it shows a list here. Virginia Commonwealth, San Francisco, University of Eastern Shore, Maryland Eastern Shore, University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. So all these are the links. So like I said, I will go to the university's page to confirm this info. GPA as low as 2.0. That is interesting for this university. GPA approximately 2.0 plus. And they even have assistantships. Louisiana Monroe, 2.75 GPA. Funding possible. Another list of moderate schools here, and then safety schools where there is a high admission chance, like there's a high requirement, like it's very high you might gain admission. They have those programs. And then it went further to ask to say that most master's programs in chemistry will require a GPA of 3.0 minimum. But then the focus should not just be on the GPA. you should also be looking at your research experience, your SOP, your strong recommendations. So though you might not have asked for this question, GBD went further to provide this because it feels that might benefit you. And then there's this figure, I say fact here, that about even 18% of those with GPAs below 3.0, they get admitted into top programs. So you can go on and read and read and read. Just like Ben was saying, it is even suggesting, you say, well, write a strong GPA. GPA it went on to tell you the things you would have to do to maximize funding. Email professors, apply to thesis, master's programs, write a strong GPA. So it's basically telling us to do these things to help us improve our chances at funding. Now, strategy for you. This was what I was trying to prevent. That's why I didn't log in, because it knows my background. So it will even suggest other things for you based on your background, like that. Might be making. Now let's check the last one for research assistant. So let's go to, let's say you have a number of universities that you want to compare. So compare 5 affordable universities in the USA for programs based on tuition, assistantship availability for a master's in biology. Let me change this.
All right. And Dr. Kofi, just to give people context, I mean, we'll come back to it. Just to give people context, when it comes to the US, your scholarship will be in a form of a fellowship, a graduate assistantship, which could be a teaching assistantship, a research assistantship, or maybe a teaching assistantship, research assistantship, or graduate assistantship, or sometimes they call it apprenticeship. So when you say that you want a full scholarship, the assistantship is what we classify as the full scholarship, just to understand that the scholarship is the same or equal to the assistantship. And so if you are listening to us, when you are given these prompts, try and use some of these words, right? If you use certain words, the AI will not be able to understand you or be able to give you what you're looking for. A typical example, if you want to study undergraduate in the US, what the terminology you have to use is that a university or a college that meets 100% of demonstrated need. If you say a university that will give me a full scholarship, nobody understands full scholarship. There are some keywords that you need to use so that it will match up with what is indicated on the website. It gives you the full scholarship we are all looking for. All right, Dr. Kofi, let's continue.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so thanks, Fred. So just like you see, that's why I'm not saying scholarship here, I'm saying assistantship. So yes, the key words are important. So with this, it was able to provide just a brief context and then went on to put into a table comparing 5 affordable universities for Masters of Science in Biology. So just like you can see, estimated tuition. Yeah, these are really, I think they're really cheap. And then it went on to show a breakdown for every university. The cheapest being Indiana State University, East Texas A&M, University of Nebraska, just like we have it. So that is how you might be able to use AI as a personal research assistant. Now, the next thing that AI can help you do is it can help you find funded opportunities. Just like we were explaining, you can find graduate teaching assistantships, graduate research assistantships, instructional support assistants, a fellowship, any type of funding. AI should be able to do that. And generally, I'm going to group this under, you can search programs that will offer TA RA positions. You can use your AI to draft emails to professors to strike that conversation for a potential assistantship. And you can use that to identify even departments with funding trends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a prompt under each, and then we will go. So for our TARA positions, the prompt one will be general funded program search. So let's say you want to find a program with funding. What are some of the prompts that you will be looking at? What are some of the prompts you will be looking at? So I call this the master prompt because I use that a lot. So what I do is there is this detailed prompt I would usually use. I don't know if you can see it. So I will tell GPT to act as a graduate admissions advisor. Act as a graduate admissions advisor. Then find universities in the USA offering fully funded or assistantship-based master's or PhD programs in, let's say, mathematics. That's not it. I go forward to include the universities. One, include the universities. Two, the program names. Three, whether TARA funding is common. Four, their application deadlines. Five, minimum GPA requirements. I can even add a 6, GRE requirements. So I am asking ChatGPT to do a lot for me. Then depending on my GPA, I can tell GPT to only focus on less competitive schools. I'm not saying if you get the Harvards and the Princetons, you should not go. But maybe depending on the GPA and your overall academic profile. So let's say focus on less competitive but repeatable schools as an example. So this is a master command. Now let me search. It is taking time because I asked for a lot of stuff. Now let's see what came. This is it. Nicely arranged. So it made a list of strong assistantship friendly schools, less competitive tier, right? So the program comes, funding information, the deadline, the minimum GPA requirement, whether GRE is required or not. And then there's a comment, a general comment based on what the program offers. The next program comes. So depending on the information that I asked GPT arranged, provided all that information nicely. Imagine you having to go through Google and searching for all this by yourself. That would take so long. But by using this AI, it is able to summarize all this information and provide information for various schools. So University of Texas at El Paso, say the minimum GPA is approximately 3.0. It is flexible in practice. Illinois State, Mexico, University of Memphis. Then there is another category, funded masters-friendly universities. So they are real but valuable. So it lists Bowling Green, and it even goes to tell you that Bowling Green say they do offer 55 TA positions. 55 TA positions. That's a lot of assistantships. Their deadline is between February and March. GPA approximately 3.0. GRE is optional. So if I were you and I want to apply to Bowling Green State University Mathematics and I want one of these assistantships, I'll take the GRE. They didn't say not required. They said optional. So what it means is that who knows, if you take the GRE, it might put you ahead of someone who didn't take it. It's one of the best funded master's options. Miami, University of Ohio, University of Cincinnati. So the list keeps going on. Then there's a third category, fully funded PhD, best route for funding. And then the list goes on. So after all this, GPT crafts a strategy for you, but it is still referencing my GPA of 2.7 here. So it is suggesting things they think I should do. I should apply to maybe 4 to 5 PhD programs, lower tier but funded, 3 to 4 funded MS programs, and 2 to 3 safe schools. And then they give a list of the safe schools, another list of the match schools that will match my GPA, and schools that will be within reach, meaning not necessarily I might get it, but then I should try. And it goes on to tell you that build a fully personalized shortlist, 10 to 15 based on my GPA. So I don't know how many, I don't know, but I can tell GPT to extend this list and also put all this information into a table. So format the information into a table with a list of 50 programs. So I'm doing a follow-up. So with the first prompt that I put in, I'm telling you to go further and list 50 master's graduate programs fitting that criteria. And this is my table. Yeah, you will not see it if I make. So there's a nice table with the university, with the program, TARA, the application deadline, the minimum GPA, and if GRE is required or not. So just by that command, I have a whole list of 50. I can be greedy. Let's say, I'll say make it 100. Let's see what it does. Yeah, it was able to provide me 100. So let's see. Yeah, so I will keep asking. And this is vital information. You know, you can take your time, go through it. You can query, you can prompt on this information to get specific information that will be tailored to your situation to narrow down this list to maybe 15 or 20. So that is one way of using AI to search for programs and for teaching assistantships and research assistantships. Another one I'm going to be looking at is how can you, I don't know, senior friend, I don't know if
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So in the process of looking for funded masters and PhD programs, you sometimes will have to reach out to professors.
Right.
And
So we'll
AI,
come to that. We'll come to the emailing. Dr. Kofi is dropping all the ideas you need. It's incredible. You know, some of these things would have taken you months to search for these schools and get the list that is the AI is showing. And like he's saying, you need to definitely go to the university's website to confirm. Remember, AI can make mistakes. So it makes the work easier for you. But you go to the university's website to search. So we are now coming to one of the things that a lot of people have been preaching about. Before you apply to any school, send an email. So now Dr. Kofi will share with us how do we use the AI tool to now help us draft the email and stuff like that. If you are just tuning in, it's been the Steady Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect. My co-host is Ben. Ben is in the UK. Did masters in India, moved to the UK for a second masters, and he will be coming your way with the University of the Week in the UK as well. Remember that if you like, you share, you comment, you automatically join the draw. Every week after the podcast, we select one person who the team assists to go through the process. It is easier to come and sit here and tell you how to do it. How about we hold your hands to go through the process? So the Fred Effect has several ways of helping. And Dr. Kofi would let you know how you can get in touch with him, how best can he assist you. He is a guru in the study abroad process. Shout outs to Dr. Isa, shout outs to Festus, shout outs to Eddie, all the team members, study destinations, everyone. We normally meet on TikTok, right? So if you are not following Festus Ainu, Dr. Kofi on TikTok, we are currently streaming live on Dr. Kofi's TikTok account now. So please follow that. and then be part of the family. We normally meet and then we'll be responding to people's questions on TikTok and stuff like that. So make it a point to join us over there as well. So Dr. Kofi, how do we email professors now?
Oh yeah. Even before we go there, I think I might have left something out. Yeah, so my prompt two, I have prompt two and prompt three. I don't want them to get to me. So I only did the general funded. Let me go to program based search. So program based search, I won't take much time there. I have the prompts here. Let me just load it in. Maybe somebody will get another. So let's say you want to use GPT to search for a program based on your profile. So you can input just a simple prompt as this: based on my profile below, suggest 20 US graduate programs where I have a strong chance of getting funding. Then you add your GPA, let's say 3.5. My degree is in civil engineering. My experience, let's say I have 5 years of experience. Have I taken the GRE? I would say no. Categorize the schools into safe, moderate, competitive, and include funding likelihood. So in this particular search, I'm telling GPT my profile so that it can tailor the search results to my profile. So you search and it will be very similar to the previous ones that we had done. That is another way to search for schools. So these are the schools, finding likelihood, the list comes up. The next one will be prompt 3 will be assistantship specific search. So if let's say I just want to search for assistantships, I know my program, the school, I want to search for assistantships, then the prompt I can use will be.
And remember that when we talk about assistantship, we are referring to the full scholarship you keep on asking. So it's very important that you pay attention that if you want to study in the US on a graduate level, master's or PhD, that word shouldn't be out of your mouth. Replace full scholarship with assistantship and you're good to go. Dr. Kofi, let's go.
Yeah, good. So in this case, let's say I want GPT to help me list universities in the US where graduate assistantships are common, and they should highlight departments known to fund master's students and not just PhDs. So if I send this command, that's the list. It's telling me University of Wyoming. Most master students are funded. So that's very important there, because gradually with some of the programs, it's like the PhD funding shifts more towards the PhD. So with this prompt, you are able to find programs that will still consider master students for funding. Say University of Wyoming, most master students receive funding for these areas. And the strategy is you should apply for the thesis option. University of Washington, Texas A&M, University of Arizona. So that list also comes. So this will provide information about assistantship specific universities as the prompt for assistantship specific research. Now to what we were talking about, the cold emails. So now I'm talking about cold emails. How can you use AI to help you reach out to professors? So first, the AI can help draft cold emails to professors.
So Dr. Kofi, to for somebody who is hearing cold email, it's not like an email that is cold, right? Like email, chef region. That's not what we are referring to. So Dr. Kofi, when we say cold emails, what is it? For my brother in Bole Bamboy, what is a cold email?
Cold email is it's an email that you send to a professor, introducing yourself and expressing interest in either working in their group or trying to find out more information about what they are doing and what interests you, with the aim of trying to strike that relationship so that you can work in the professor's research group or team.
Awesome.
So
Awesome. So
the overall aim is that if that happens, you might be able to get a research assistantship.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Shout out to
So
my
it is
brother.
code because you are doing the approach. So
Okay.
it's a code email.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So for example, if you meet a beautiful lady and you want to send a message to woo her or to ask her out, that could be like a cold dating email, a message, right?
And code, if you've seen the person before you guys had a conversation, it might not be code because they can be expecting it. But at least if the professor doesn't know anybody is sending him an email out of the
Right.
blue, somebody hits him like, "Hey, Doctor so and so, I've read your work on maybe textiles, and I feel like then you will present your background and all that." So I'm sure there are ways to write those emails. Like I was saying, most people I'm assuming you already know a little bit about the study abroad process.
Yeah.
But code emailing, yes, is important in this whole study
Awesome.
abroad process. So
Great.
the AI can help you draft your emails to the professors. It can personalize the outreach emails for you. And you can also use the AIs to help you in follow-ups. So I'm going to explain and then show prompts that you can use for the various things that I mentioned here. So to draft code emails, so for emails to profs, I'm going to show one prompt for code email. Yeah.
Kofi, before you continue, I'm thinking about something. So with all these prompts that you are giving and AI is providing us with these universities, what will you say to some of the audience that they will be saying that they've applied that they are not getting scholarship? Do you think there is something they are doing it wrongly that the AI can help them perfect that?
It all has to do with information. That's why you can be a first class student and might not get into any school. Somebody might have a 2.7 GPA and will get into a school with assistantship. It depends on the research. So if I've been able to narrow down into a program where even with my 2.7 GPA, I can gain admission and then gain maybe through that I'll be offered an assistantship. And let's say you have the high GPA and you are only applying to schools that would not ordinarily fund master students. What will happen? So that's why using these AIs will help you strategize this whole study abroad process. I always tell people you need to apply strategy. You just don't get up and start putting things together and apply. You might apply to 10 schools, you might gain admission into 10 schools, and then there will be no funding for you. You see? So it depends on the information. Like you said, let's take a school like Bowling Green State University Mathematics. It showed that they would award 55 graduate assistantships. 55. So you can imagine if you have a GPA of over 3.5, and better still, let's say you've even taken the GRE. No matter what, you get in. Definitely you get something. But you will only apply to that school because you have that information. If you don't have that info, you might be applying to Ohio State University. I'm just saying, you might be applying to Ohio State University. They might give you admission, but they wouldn't give you any assistantship.
Yeah, because there are some universities that people have never even heard of. That if you check them out on Google or back home, when you Google it, you might probably not hear about some universities that they even exist over here. So yeah, that's super helpful. So we want to help people out, right? So if you comment, if you like, you share, you automatically join the draw. Let us know your qualification. If you want to mention your CV, that's fine. Your CGPA, that's fine. What is your qualification? Type it in the comment section. We might pick your qualification and then use that for the prompt that we are going. All right, exactly. Dr. Kofi, let's move on to the code emails.
Yeah. So with a code email, the first prompt I'll be doing will be for code email for a research assistantship. So I am writing to the professor with the idea that I might be able to work on his research team. So this is a prompt that I will use. Let me give me a quick second. So chat GPT again. I have everything typed. No, this is the wrong one. I have everything typed already because it will take time to do all this typing. So that's a typical prompt that I might use to draft an email to a professor. It said, write a professional email to a professor expressing interest in joining their research group as a graduate student with funding support. Include 1. Brief introduction. 2. Research interest alignment. 3. Mention of their recent work. 4. Request for funding opportunities. And I'm telling GPT to keep it concise and compelling. And you see, with this same command, there are 2 things I can do. I think I will come back and then I will talk about that one later in the personalized outreach. So this is a more generic code email where you would have to general drafting for you. So I'm talking about the various elements that should be with in your statement of purpose. So GPT said, dear Professor so and so, note, this is a generic output. So you cannot just copy this and send it to a professor. No. Because if somebody also generated this same, use the same prompt with your say, like with a similar program, it is likely to produce the same thing. So that's not what you're going to do. This acts more like a go by, like an example for you because you are drafting this. So you say, my name is so and so, I am whatever, whether GPT is right about me. I'm writing to express my strong interest in joining your research group as a graduate student. So the various elements have been captured. There's a research area. There's a brief background about my experience. I'm asking about assistantship and funding opportunities within the group. And I'm going on to say, I'm going to attach my CV and maybe my transcript for his review so that we can discuss my background. So just like that. So this will help you draft it. So if you are someone who doesn't know what should be on a statement of purpose, at least this should serve as a guide for you as to what to include when you are reaching out to a professor. So that's what that prompt does. The next prompt will so the next prompt will it's a personalized email using the professor's work. I like this one. So if let's say I'm reaching out to a professor, Professor A, and he's done so and so work, and I'm reaching out to him, I would want to mention some of the things that he has done in my email and express my interest to be working in the same research group. So that will personalize the email to the professor's work. Let's look at how you're going to prompt something like that. So if you have to prompt GPT for something like that, you would have to do something like this. So the first you have to do is you would have to paste the professor's research summary below. When you go to the professor's website, most times they have a summary of the research that they are doing on their faculty page. So you can go there, copy, or if you've done your own personal research about the professor, you can write something about his research interests and everything. Then this will be your prompt. Write a tailored email showing strong alignment with their work and asking about RA opportunities. Make it sound natural, not generic. So here I'll go and then I'll paste the professor's profile. I don't have any professors. Okay, let me see if I can. That will take time.
No,
Okay.
we can do that. We can get somebody's profile and use it for it. So while Dr.
Okay.
Kofi does this, remember you are still live on the Steady Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect. Today is very different, right? We are holding your hands and helping you through the process. While a lot of people are frowning on the use of AI, we are trying to conscientize your mind that it's the same thing was started with calculator, the same thing started with the internet, the same thing started with a Google search, and now we have AI. If you are not using it, someone who is smarter and knows how to use it will now, have the advantage over you. So we are trying to give you the various prompts. And remember, this session will still be live on the Fed Effect Study Abroad platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, and also on TikTok. So later on, you can go back to our YouTube channel and then watch, and then also be able to write down the various prompts. So we picked some comments in there. Shout outs to Rema. Rema has been our long term, viewer. Rema Joy, shout outs to you. And Noel, Norbert, shout outs to you for tuning in. John, I see you, Dr. Kofi. You're looking good and still a bit young. John Sami Atta is beginning you up, Dr. Kofi. So Tevia Stacia, how reach out to Professor as an undergrad. Rema is in here. Electrical and electronic engineering with research experience in international professional in energy management. That is from Samuel as well. Yes. The Arabian MC. This is a good name. Arabian MC. Beard, Bachelor of Education in GHS Education, CGPA of 3.2. Okay, we'll look at that as well. I have a 3-year CGPA and also currently undergoing a master's degree in China. All right, that is Gabriel. MPhil Economics Education, Emmanuel Kwesi, shout outs to you. And then also Abigail Ayeko, shout outs to you for tuning in. John Boada, John is tuning in from Kumasi as well. Mami Jamfua, thank you for tuning in. He said he has an admission to offer MS Mathematics Science at Georgia Southern University, but without funding. How should I go about it? Dr. Kofi will be answering those questions later on. Dr. Kofi, if you are ready, let's go.
Yeah. So I went in to copy one professor's Google Scholar PDA. I don't know if you can see my screen. Yeah, so I went to a
very, very clear
page. I know one professor. I went to his page. I picked the Google Scholar link here, and then I told GPT to go on and write the network. Yeah, is it better?
Yeah, Kofi is better.
Okay, good. So I just went in, copied a link to his Google Scholar citations, and I said they should write, they should draft a code email for me showing strong alignment with their work and asking about RA opportunities. So just like you can see here, the GPT went in to identify the professor and the work that he does. And then this is a sample code email that GPT had generated for me. So my name is Dr. Kofi. I'm a structural engineer with a background in civil structure engineering, currently working as so and so because GPT knows me. I'm very interested in pursuing graduate research under your supervision, particularly in the area of structural systems and earthquake engineering. So this is tailored to the professor and what he does. I recently came across your work on steel, whatever, you see. So if you have something like this is a unique prompt. It is personalized. So it is not very likely another person will come in and then there's something in there. This is personalized to the professor. So that's what I was talking about. So you have to research a professor, know where to locate his work. You can use the school's page. You can copy the research, paste it under, and use that to draft a code email. So after this has been drafted, you can go in and make some edits, maybe personalize it, make it your own, and then send it on. So like we were saying, ethical use of AI, that is very, very important. So that's how I would use.
Dr. Kofi?
Yeah.
Yeah, before you talk about the ethical use of AI, I want to chip in this and then we see how best you can address that. So there was a time I was having a conversation with one professor, and she was like, now, as soon as she sees a particular tone of message, she can easily predict that this particular student used AI to generate the message. And having seen this prompt, I see words like I am particularly drawn, I am eager. And more times you see that this kind of phrases cut across. Now, how do we deal with those kind of phrases so that, like, if we send to a professor like the one I'm talking about, she can't easily predict that this one is AI generated?
Yeah. So the truth is, usually I will not even copy anything directly from AI. I will use it only as an example.
Okay.
So what I will do is, AI is telling me to describe who I am, where I'm working, and I should express interest. So I will rewrite this whole session myself. That's how I will use AI to prevent some of these issues. Because just like you are saying, uh, those who know AI will be able to tell, hey, you used AI because of the tokenization. After word A, word B should follow. After word C, word D should follow. So I like to use the format, to create. So you say, I came across your work on so and so. So you should be able to rewrite this. Maybe at first you wouldn't even know where to start from, but now you have a template. So you should use that to rewrite this. And note that this is what you are sending to a professor to create that first impression that you will be, you will not be an academic who will be copying and pasting. So you should be taking some of this very, very, very serious.
Cut and paste.
Yeah, you can't be. And there's
People,
one
they
thing
don't
people
even
don't
like
realize.
copy. They don't want to even copy. They want to cut everything.
No, if you cut and paste, even in Word and even in emails, the format looks a little different. I don't know if some people have realized that even for the same font, if you copy from AI and paste into an email prompt or something, the format looks a little different. So I don't like that. I would rather have the AI and then rewrite it. That is better. So yeah, so that would be an example where you can personalize an email based on a professor's area of research to a professor. So note, cold emails, you should do well to use this as a template to generate or to draft your own code email, because it is important. If a professor reads and they are able to see, oh, you generated everything using AI, I don't think that will send a good picture. Yep. So that's another use of
Okay,
AI.
so
The next
before
is
you continue, I just want to cut this across. So to those who are interested in UK applications, one good thing is that sometimes if you check the application requirements, they will indicate that they understand the use of AI in your applications. However, what they don't like is you generating something that does not reflect your true story. So what they want to mean is that you can use the AI, but however, make sure that whatever story you are generating, it should reflect your reality. So if, let's say, you're able to type something like, oh, my name is Mr. AI and I studied in Ghana, I'm interested in your program, this and this and this, I have done ABCD. You just list the bullet points, you give it to the AI, it will put the forms and the words to make it like the way you want. On that note, you are good to submit. But if you just tell the AI, like, oh, I'm interested in this program, so help me with statement of purpose or help me with code email, that one, it will show. And most of the schools in the UK does not support that. But as long as what you are generating reflects reality, is the true story about you, then you are good to go. So those of you who have started applying to the UK schools, check. Usually it's the last sentence and they put it in, they bold it, so you can see that, and then you take notice. Anytime you see that, you take note of that. Thank you, Kofi. The
Yeah,
ball is in your hands now. Yeah.
good. So the last prompt will be a follow-up email to check on the professor that you've already sent a code email to. So the prompt will go something like, so that's a follow-up prompt. So it's like, write a polite follow-up email to a professor I contacted, let's say 10 days ago, regarding graduate research opportunities and funding. Keep it short. So better still, if you like, if you have that email, you can enter and paste that email right down there. Then you go. It will help draft a polite follow-up email to the professor. So just like you see, and like I was saying, follow the format. Just don't copy everything word for word. So this is how you can use AI towards drafting your cold emails to professors. I'm assuming you all know how to draft cold emails to professors. So I'm only showing you how you can use AI to help in that process. Now we would move on to, it's a lot, so I have to hurry up, else I might
Oh
not
no,
be
no.
able
I
to.
mean, this is very helpful. If you check in the comment section, people should let us know. Today's podcast is a little bit different, and we are learning a lot. So let us know in the comment section. Has it been helpful? Most of the comments we are getting, this is helpful. So Dr. Kofi, depending on your time, let's take our time and then educate our
Okay,
people out there. Yes.
okay,
So yeah,
good.
people are typing in there. It's super helpful. So we'll move on to the other sets of prompts, but remember that if you are just tuning in, this is the Steady Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect. Today, we have Dr. Kofi. Dr. Kofi, what's a little bit about you? Where did you school? You schooled in KNUST, and then you move on
Yes,
to.
yeah. Let me give my secondary school a shout out. I went to school
Okay.
GSTS, so I'm a
Oh,
giant. Takrady
okay.
GSTS.
I
Yeah,
see. I see.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
started
then,
off from the Western region in a community called Enyinase. It's a vibrant town in the Western
right.
region. That's where I started off from. Went on to GSTS Takrady,
Mm.
and then to KNUST to read civil engineering, and
Oh,
to
I
the
see.
US for masters and PhD in Accra. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, people are loving it. So there we keep it going. All right. Let's go to the next prompt. But before we do that, remember the Fred Effect team assist with your payments when it comes to the study abroad process. So if you are working on the process, you need help to pay your service fee, just send us a direct message either on Facebook, Instagram, X or TikTok. The team will respond to you and will facilitate your payment for you. Maybe you're paying for West evaluation, you're paying for a visa application fee. Initially to pay visa application fee, you need to go directly to any branch of GT Bank in Ghana. So when I was in Bole Bamboi, I needed to travel down to Techiman just to pay visa application fee at GT Bank branch because that was the closest one. Now you don't have to do that. So if you need help paying yours, you just have to send us a message. We'll be happy to assist you. And Dr. Kofi, how do people get in touch with you if somebody wants to get assistance with the process? It is better that they come to people who experience like you. How do people get in touch?
Um, Usually you get me on TikTok. I have a Facebook and I don't I have a Facebook, but I don't do much on there. And I have a
Right.
YouTube that I don't do much on there either. So
I
if you want
see.
to get me, you see me with a steady abroad guys on TikTok, just like
Yeah.
as in the first set, we are there. So if you come on TikTok, you look for the steady abroad guys. Senior Fred is there. If you follow
Yeah.
the Fred Effect, definitely one day I'm sure you will catch him on our platform and you get to meet all the other
Yeah,
guys too.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So we come your
And
way every
then
week.
I also have an
Mhm.
email. I will provide
Okay.
my email at the end of
Yes.
the session.
Yeah. Dr. Kofi is a trusted person that very knowledgeable about the process. Dr. Kofi, when did you move to the US though?
That's it's a long time ago. Yeah, I
Right.
came to the US in the year 2008.
Right.
So
So what is the difference between then, like working on the study abroad process then and now?
yeah, I can give you a little story about how I ended up in the US.
Right.
Honestly, I didn't want to come to the US because
Okay.
interestingly, I did not want to take the GRE. So I
Mm,
left tech in the year 2005 and study abroad. It's not as prevalent now. Most time you would hear a lot about study abroad when you were a teaching assistant on campus,
okay.
and I was a TA on campus KNUST. So I heard about study abroad. I applied right after school, but I concentrated to schools in Europe. So I
Mm,
applied to schools in Norway. They didn't give me admission because at the time they had some nice scholarship in Norway, quota scheme. I don't know if you guys
right.
heard about it. Yeah, they will give you a lot of money, give you plane tickets and all that. I was a hustler, so I needed the money. So Norway, they didn't work out. I applied to the Netherlands. I got into a school in the Netherlands, but then I had applied for the Netherlands Fellowship Program. That was
Mm-hmm.
also another funding that they had in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And the final stage, you need somebody from the Ministry of Finance to sign your form out for you. That once you're
Mm-hmm.
done, you come back to Ghana. So I went to Ministry of Finance, and whoever did not sign.
Oh.
So the person not signing, I was coaching people at the time to go to the US, and some of my friends had even written the
Mhm.
GRE and they had come to the US. They are always like, "You tell
Right.
us to do this and you don't do it. So what is stopping you?"
Mm,
Huh. The problem was I didn't like the verbal section of the GRE. The verbal section,
mm-hmm.
a lot has changed. At the time, you had to learn over 2 to 3,000 words. And the way the GRE was structured, they just lift the words and they ask you what is the opposite. They don't put them in sentences and all
Right.
that. So things I didn't like the verbal section, but I was forced to take the GRE. Just like I had a
Mm,
mistake. My verbal score was not great, but my analytical score was good, and my quantitative score was also good. So I was
I
doing my
see.
research and I came across a school and they said, "Oh, for engineering, we wouldn't consider the verbal match." So I've been doing
Mm,
research for a long time. They said, "Oh, we wouldn't consider the verbal match. We would only consider your quantitative plus your analytical." And then they had a formula that if you use the formula and you go over 1,140 or something, they means you
yeah.
were good with it. So I checked the school's website and they had advertised that they had funded opportunities for master's students and stuff.
I see.
I'm like, yeah, this is good. So I sent an
Yeah.
email to the program coordinator. So the process has not changed. Always, that's
Mm-hmm.
why I say the process has been the same. So I sent an email to the program coordinator asking him that, hey, this is my transcript. This is what I've seen. So then he said, yeah, you look like a good candidate. You should try it. So because I wasn't planning to apply for the US, I applied for my master's on January 30th. That was the last
Mm,
day for that school. And I applied to only one school in the US.
I
Yeah.
see. And that,
So I
that
applied
university
to
is
one
what
school
brought you.
and I got in.
That university is what brought you to the US.
Yeah, so that university is what brought me to it. So it was one and done. I did one
Oh,
and done.
I see. The same thing applies to me, but from Bole Bamboy, I was able to only afford one university to pay the application fee to, and I didn't know there was supposed to be. Nice, nice. All right, Dr. Kofi, let's move on with our
Yeah.
AI today. The podcast is really special. And if you're meeting us for the first time, you're welcome. This is our world. This is what we do. This is what we've been spending a lot of our time and effort on in order to, help people navigate this whole study abroad process because we've had opportunity to go through. Dr. Kofi has studied a master's and gotten a PhD to be where he is, and now he's teaching us how you can make things easier for yourself. All right, Dr. Kofi, let's move on.
Yeah, so I will go on to show how you use AI to identify departments with funding trends. So first, we'll look at the funding trend analysis for programs, hidden funding gems. There might be some schools with very good funding that might be hidden. You might not have even heard of those schools before. You'll be able to use your profile to compare your funding likelihood to a specific program, and then you look at the strategy builder. So I'm going to show prompts for all this. So let's say you want to analyze the funding trend for a specific program. So there's a prompt that you will use. So assuming you are applying into a department, but you don't know how the funding situation is for the department or how their funding has been. So you go like, which universities in the US are known for consistently funding graduate students in, let me use one for education, higher ed, higher education student affairs. Focus on departments with strong assistantship culture, schools where most admitted students receive funding, public universities with good funding records. So now let me send this. Yeah, and this is the list. This is a school. One, almost everyone gets funded. Top targets. Almost everyone gets funded. So what it means is that once you are able to get into these programs, it is likely you might get funded. The core programs: Ohio State University, Indiana University Bloomington, University of Maryland, College Park, University of Georgia, like you see here. And why these stand out? They are dedicated assistantship pipelines, structured program. So this is vital information right here because almost everyone gets funded. So the key here is you doing everything possible to gain admission. Because once you gain admission into this program, there is a high probability you might get funded. Then there is another list: strong public universities with consistent assistantships. These are excellent. They are less competitive options where funding is very common, but it's not always guaranteed. So there is also a list: high probability funding schools. Key insight: they tell you Eastern Michigan is saying that over 90% of their students will secure graduate assistantship for this program. So what it means is that if they are admitting 10 students, 9 of them will get an assistantship. That is great. And a lot of these programs, they have graduate assistantship interview days where the department will recruit students. So all this is very important information. Then the next is assistantship heavy programs, the work study model. And then they have the schools listed. The funding structure: Utah will be tuition plus 24K stipend. Ohio University, most students hold assistantships during the program. Clemson assistant integrated with a practicum. So what I'm saying is, every information you see here, try to confirm from the programs page. It is very, very important. And I will show you one. Moderate funding, available but competitive, good programs, but funding is limited, not guaranteed. And these are the schools. Sterling American University offers 15 assistantships, some with full tuition remission by limited slots. So you can go on and follow patterns. So it's a key patterns you should understand. Student affairs funding is not similar to STEM funding. It is not always automatic full funding, but the assistantships are embedded in the culture. So UBT is telling you that in a program like that, assistantship is embedded into the culture of the program. Meaning, if you're looking at programs like that, there is a high probability you could gain assistantship for it. So, like I was saying, this is vital information for someone. So, programs that will use this model, there's a cohort admission. They guarantee interview for assistantships. They place them across housing, admission, student success, diversity and inclusion units. Then it goes on to tell you what you have to do to improve or to increase your chances at gaining this funding. So you should be applying before the priority deadline. You need to show strong leadership, student engagement experience, and you have to be open to different functional areas. So is that best strategy for you? That's for me, but it will not apply. So after that, GPT gives me a list of safe, moderate, competitive schools. And then there is a final insight that if I am able to choose the right program, student affairs is one of the few non-STEM fields where realistically you get tuition plus typing and graduate no and graduate with 2 years of no and graduate with 2 years of real professional experience. So by the time you are done with school, you have real experience because it is fused into the program. So it goes on to ask that, do you even want me to create a list for you, a list of 20 for you? You could go on, ask for that list. You could push for 50. You could push for 100.
Kofi,
Yeah.
Kofi, just to chip this in, it's like you've shown those of us who don't want to study in US. So it's like all your prompts are US bias. We will not say anything.
Oh yeah, because
We will beat you at one side.
because because my focus was for the US. That's why. Sorry, maybe
you come. Don't worry, you will come to the US.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to organize another session in at.
Yeah,
but you know the truth
nice.
is,
So,
for graduate school, if you want a country that will offer a lot of the funding, it's the US. So that's why. Yeah. So basically, that will be it for this one. Did I move? So prompt 8 will be the hidden funding gems, like programs that you might not typically hear of, but then there is funding. There is a way you can prompt that also. So let's say I want to prompt for the hidden gems. I will go to, I like clearing it so that I'll get enough space to. So identify lesser known US schools. This one, we are targeting some schools because maybe you might not have heard before. They might be quality good schools once they are accredited. That's what I say. Once programs are accredited and the accreditation is good, it is recognized in that industry, you don't have any problem. So it say identify lesser known US universities where international students frequently receive TARA funding in let me use computer science. Avoid top tier schools. I'm not saying we should always avoid top tier schools. This is just a command. And you should be cutting your code according to your side. You know your profile and you know what you can go in for. So let's say avoid top tier schools. Focus on hidden gems with high funding chances. So I sent, and then let's see what comes on. Yeah, so there's the list. He said Binghamton University, Sunny. We have a strong TA culture, approximately 35 to 40 TAs, or approximately 30 RAs per semester. Large assistantship pool relative to program size, so higher odds than the elite schools. University of Alabama, Birmingham, MS students are automatically considered for TA funding, so you have to check the department and see what. Okay, so if I check this, I think it is somewhere on their page. Okay, so you have to come in here and then do your own research. But from the link that showed here, from this link, admitted MS students are automatically considered for merit-based TAs, whatever. Yeah, so you can go on and then search because they included this school because they explicitly stated it on one of their websites. Illinois State University. Graduate assistantship is widely used as primary funding mechanism. Their computer science not famous, but lots of GA. University of Iowa. Yeah, it's a hidden school. It's a good school, but I don't know why they included it. Maybe there's something happening in that department, so you go and then you read. Okay, say funding is core to that department, not occasionally. So it means once you're able to gain admission into that school, into that program, there is a good probability you could get funding. Texas Tech. So a lot of these are good schools, honestly. All these schools, they are all good schools. But it categorizes them under hidden gems. I'm sure it is because of the program. So you will be able to use a similar prompt to find the hidden gems. And always, like we've seen, there is always a follow up, and you need to use that to enrich your whole research experience. So you can include funding probability plus deadlines plus professor leads.
You'll be very ungrateful if you're not sharing what you're doing today. It's interesting, you know, how this AI can make the work easier for us. You should never complain about getting admission without getting a scholarship. Now take your time. You need to save this actual video, and then you can come back to the platform to watch it again. Share it with a friend. If you have a way of sharing it on WhatsApp, share it to yourself. Now make a note that you're coming back and be watching it. Just sit down and even try the prompt using your profile that Dr. Kofi has, you know, explained, and it makes it quite easier. So a lot of people are enjoying it. Lois is watching us on Facebook. Lois says that good job, thank you, Dr. Kofi. And then Mr. Brew is saying, Mr. Brew, thank you for reposting on X as well. We have close to 1,000 people watching us across our various platforms, and it's interesting. Data is a little bit expensive back on where we come from. Where we are now, probably we are not paying that much, but for people to watch us live, it means that we are making a huge impact. All right, Rema, thank you for tuning in. Rama, thank you for sharing as well. And then let's see what we have here. Teria, this podcast has really been good to me, especially God bless you, the Fred Effect team. God bless you too. Solomon is watching us on Facebook. Solomon Kwabla Ofori. I like the name. AIs can hallucinate. This means they can have produce information that are not accurate sometimes even. So it's important that we cross check. That is very true. Daniel, watching from Nigeria. Thank you for tuning in, brother, from Nigeria. And then Enoch is saying, please, in drafting the email, I didn't see him mentioning a particular publication. How about that?
Okay, you want me to answer?
Yes.
Yeah, because if you are mentioning a particular publication, that would be surprising because the professor will not only be working on that particular publication. So usually it should be more about their research area and interest. I'm sure that will give you a lot more to write about, because if you go in and you can say, oh, you have read his paper on so and so, and maybe something was useful to you, but then you still have to come back to the broader research interest, because sometimes whatever you might have read in the paper, the professor might have moved away from it. Know that these professors are not restricted only to an area. They go where the funding is. They have interest, but they go where the funding is. So they have broad areas that they consider. So yes, you can bring a publication in and say you read his paper and so. That has to do with writing code emails. Like I said, I'm not looking at writing code emails. I'm only showing how you can use that to help your whole study abroad journey. So I'm sure, Senior Fred, you might have done a video on writing code emails. You might have touched on some of this already. So that would be my response to you. Yeah.
Awesome. Remember, if you're working on the process now, some universities are still admitting for fall 2026, but it will be advisable if your target is fall 2027. At the moment, if you pay your visa application fee, for some time now, there's no date on the calendar where you can schedule a date. Don't panic. You can still join mock interview sessions, and there are times that the embassy releases a lot of dates, and people get dates that they are not even ready for. The Fed Effect team has a mocks platform that has existed for close to 10 years now. And so what you need to do is to send us a message on Instagram. We'll add you to the WhatsApp group as well. You need help writing your SOP, talk to the Fed Effect team. You need help review your application, send us a message. We'll be happy to answer you. You're working on your process. You have some questions. We'll be happy to guide you as well. So just send us a message on any of our social media platforms, especially on Instagram. We'll be happy to assist. We assist with payments as well. If you're working on the process and you need help making any form of payment, whether your visa application fee, service fees, especially if you want to pay for West evaluation, an application fee, maybe the institution is requiring paper or whatever, credit card, MasterCard, but you don't have it, we will be able to take the local currency assist you or facilitate the payment for you as well. So when it comes to the study abroad process, the Fred Effect team is your friend. Just say hi if you want to be a friend. If you're in high school, if you are in level 100, 200, your aim is to study abroad in the coming years. We've been in the game for a very long time. You have a solid brand. This is the biggest study abroad content platform. The family is about 160,000 on Facebook. We are close to 200,000 on YouTube, which is not easy. On Instagram, we are over 200,000 family members. And on X, we are over 50,000 family members. On Instagram, which is verified, we are over 30,000 family members. So this is a solid brand with a huge team behind supporting what we are doing. Shout outs to the team, Ben, Josie, Kafi, Patrick, Edna, Josie, and then Louisa as well. Mimshak, Emmanuel, shout outs to you as well. So it's a huge team and we'll be happy to assist you whenever you send us a message. Follow us on all our social media platforms and be part of the family. Dr. Kofi, let's move on to the next prompt.
Yeah, good. So the next will be on funding likelihood. I will not waste too much time on that one. So if you want to compare programs and the likelihood for funding, you can just say compare funding availability for graduate students in, let's say, economics across top-ranked universities, mid-tier universities, lower-ranked universities. Explain where students have the highest chance of getting assistantships and why. So this is just for comparing funding likelihood. Let's see what UPT gives us. Yep, so top-ranked, very high assistantships, mid-tier. So this will generally talk about the funding and the percentages, and lower rank. So we can now, okay, so that's the comparison. We can add for schools that fall under each category. So that was a follow-up question that came here. So I will just copy this. So list 20 economics programs where funding is most likely. That might be a good one to continue with. And then that's the list. So just like we're saying, everything here you would have to confirm. You have to confirm the info. I do that all the time. Most times I want to, even if I see something here, sometimes I'll copy this, go on Google, use keywords, search. It takes me to the actual location where it is on the website, so that I don't go looking around. It takes me there, I see it, confirm it, and then I run with it. So just like someone was saying, sometimes some of the information in my pick might be a little outdated. So it's always a good idea that when you have some of these, you do the confirmation yourself. Say these schools fund many students, but not always 100%. So that list also counts. I believe I'll spend some time here. Now we can also use it to build, to create a strategy for funding. To create a strategy for funding. That would be no. Yeah, so I'm like create a step-by-step strategy for securing a funded graduate position in the US as an international student for a master's program in let's say psychology. Include timeline, outreach strategy, and application tips. So this will help create a step-by-step strategy for securing a funded graduate position in the US. Yeah. So the big picture, say masters in psychology doesn't have a lot of funding by default, but then you can get some through TAs, research, departmental scholarships. And UBT went on to draw a 12-month timeline strategy and what you need to do at every point. So let's say phase one preparation, 12 to 9 months before intake, some of the things you have to do. So we identify specialization, you strengthen your profile, you you create your deliverable. So this will not only apply to psychology. You can use that same prompt in your own study abroad journey to plan it out. They will be able to create a timeline for you as to what you have to do at every point in time. So 9 months to 7 months, you should be researching, doing some of the things that we are doing here. 7 months to 5 months before you have to start your professor outreach. So basically, all the steps that will be involved in the study abroad process. Uh, you see a winning from like your email, what needs to be there. See, so these are all perfect guidelines that you need. If somebody wants to know more about study abroad, I can just copy this whole thing and send it to them. I'm sure they will be able to follow and we will come out with a number of schools. Yeah, as a winning strategy, you have to use a prompt like this. It will help guide you through the process, even towards how to write your SOP, what you need to include on there and all that. So that is a good prompt for that. The prompt says, create a step-by-step strategy for securing a graduate position as an international student. For you add your program, include timeline, outreach strategy, and application tips. And then we have that. So now I think we will be moving to SOP. SOP. Senior Fred, I don't know if you want to say something before we get to SOP. Oh, Senior Fred, Ben, do you have anything to say before I go on to SOP?
Oh, yeah, I think the SOP is one of the key ingredients when it comes to the study abroad. I think it is where you have to tell your story, and not just telling your story. Is identify that story of your life that is relevant to the program you want to apply to. And once again, as today is AI Day, and Dr. Kofi is injecting us with some of the AI those, I want to try and then emphasize that you can use the AI. I made a first comment that now if you read some pattern of AI generation, you can easily detect that this one is fully generated by AI. But what will make your work stand out is your ability to tell your story and then being consistent throughout. So I know Dr. Kofi is coming to show us the way to go by, but the advice I'll give is that we should always try and make sure that we are in the we are in the statement of purpose. So the statement of purpose should represent you, but not AI. So if you read your statement of purpose and at the end of the day, it doesn't represent you, then you have to revisit and write it again to make sure that it represents you. So I think, Doctor, that's what I want to
Okay,
hear about
good.
it before you
Yeah,
continue.
because I remember Senior Fred, and I know this is where a lot of students are suspect. You tell somebody to go write the SOP, and within one day he's done. He send it to you, and you know it is AI. So we are particularly interested with what happens with the statement of purpose. When I started, I said that AI does not know your story. AI doesn't even know where I come from. It doesn't know the experiences, what has shaped my life all the way to this point. So definitely, I cannot tell AI to write me a statement of purpose for a master's of whatever. It will not tell my story. It will just generate something generic for me. So AI does not know your story. You have to own your story. But it doesn't also mean that we cannot use AI to help improve our statement of purpose. So what I'm going to do here is I'll be showing ways by which you can use the AI to guide and help refine your SOP. So I'm saying AI should guide and refine your SOP. It should not replace your voice. The AI should not be telling your story for you. You know your own story. Tell your own story. But AI can guide and help refine your SOP. AI can also help put structure to your SOP because sometimes you have different ideas. There are different stories. You don't even know how to put them together. AI can put all of that together into a good story for you. That will still be your story. It will help refine your grammar and provide clarity. Then it can also align your story with program goals. You have your story and you might be targeting a program. Sometimes it is difficult trying to strike a relation between your story and the program or the goals. So AI will be able to help do that, create an alignment for you. Then with statement of purpose, like I said, you know your story. You know your statement of purpose. It's looking at your past, connecting your present to your future in compelling storytelling. So statement of purpose, it is simply a story that you are telling. You are looking at events in your past, looking at where you are presently, connecting your present situation to your future, where you are headed to in a compelling story. So that's all you are doing. So I'm going to go on and show prompts that will help establish how you can use AI to structure your SOP. I'm going to spend a little time here because that's where a lot of students are guilty. Some just go write statement of purpose for me for so and so, and then they are done. So I will take a little bit time here as we go. So first, the initial prompts will be, how do you use AI to help structure your SOP? So prompt 1, SOP structure generator. Let's go. This is how I will prompt. Let's go. Yeah, so I would say create a strong statement of purpose for a graduate application in, let's say, master's in economics. I am providing a format. Use this format: introduction, motivation and interest, academic background and experience, current recent activities and relevance, future goals and program fit. Give bullet points for what to include. So I am only going to use this as a draft, so I can number these. So I'm looking at the broad categories that I want AI to talk about. So what we are doing here is that we are generating a template. So this is not what you are going to submit, because this is definitely going to be generic. So first, for someone who doesn't even know how to write a statement of purpose, it will be a good prompt for that, as to what do you need to include on your statement of purpose. So there is an introduction. The second session will talk about your academic background and experience, your current recent activities and the relevance, your future goals and program fit, and then give bullet points for what to include in each section. So that will be a template upon which you will be able to put together your own SOP. So this will help structure your SOP for someone who doesn't even know where to start from. That example will help you draft your first SOP. So if I do this, it is going to create something for me which is going to be very generic. But then I can use that to write my own SOP. So you see, it has not created the story for me. It only gave me the points on what to include in my SOP. So in this case, introduction, motivation, and interest. You say you need a compelling opening. What sparked your interest in economics? What specific areas of interest? A brief statement of purpose. What you want to study and why now? So you, even if you don't know how to write it, let's assume you are just providing answers to all these questions. Then after that, you put that all together into something like a paragraph. That will be the first part. The second part, academic background and experience. Prove you are academically prepared. So talk about your degree, a little bit about your coursework, your academic achievements, your research experience, quantitative skills, programming, whatever. Then you come to recent activities. So this will serve as a guide and will help you draft your own SOP. And this will be structured. So AI will be able to help you structure your SOP. That's the first prompt I showed. The next prompt I'm going to talk about, go back to this. Turn your rough ideas into structure. So let's say you already have some ideas, but you don't know, you are brainstorming as to how to put that into your SOP. You can put all that into the AI and tell the AI to help you structure it. That's another way that you can use AI to help with your SOP. So with that, this will be a prompt you would give the AI. Yep. So it says here are my ideas. So note the idea you have, you might have typed all your ideas. So you will paste it. You will paste your ideas all here, because if I don't type anything, let's say my idea is go to graduate school for a master's in civil engineering. I like bridges when I was a kid. I want to be a bridge engineer. In the future, I don't know. Just have your own rough ideas, and then the AI will help organize that into a clear, compelling SOP structure with changing stories. So maybe you have written your own statement of purpose. You want to put structure to it. You could paste it in here with this prompt, and the AI will be able to organize that into a very compelling structure for you. Let's see what comes. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I have a whole presentation on statement of purpose. This is using AI for statement of purpose, but that's like the key thing. So you see what AI did for me just by these few things I put in here. It suggested my introduction should talk about my early interest in bridges from childhood and my curiosity about how bridges are designed and built, and my desire to pursue civil as a pathway to work on bridges. Then I should provide a clear intention to attend graduate school to deepen this interest. So I'll be able to write something around this, and that will be my own story. That will not be what the AI has generated for me. So that's a good way to use AI to help you draft your own statement of purpose. Another thing, you see, it talked about the second part. So I should my decision to study civil is based on long-standing interest. My undergraduate studies align with this goal. I should be able to write something about it. Continue focus on civil as a field, whatever. So clearly, it's a guide. Then this is the clean flow version. So it says start with childhood fascination. So it is giving me ideas. It is helping me brainstorm as to what to include on my statement of purpose and what not include. How do I even conclude the whole thing? So that is what you can do. That's what you can use AI also for. Now the next thing will be aligning. Oh no, I'm not there yet. Your personal story alignment. Your personal story alignment. So let's say you have your own story. You've already written your statement of purpose, or you have your story and you want AI to help you align your story, maybe with a program. How do you prompt it? So that will be a very simple prompt. I will say, help me shape my personal story into a compelling SOP for a master's degree in economics. Focus on clarity, logical flow, whatever, without exaggeration or adding false achievements. Then I will add my own statement of purpose. Then I'll search. It will be able to align my story to the area that I'm looking to go into. So for story alignment, the AI can help you. So if let's say I used to sell daily newspapers when I was a kid. Let's see if it will generate something interesting. So I developed an early awareness. It has created ideas for me just by that little thing I put there. It has created a whole statement of purpose. So I could use this as a guide to draft something for myself. So that will be one way where the AI will help you structure your SOP. The next will be using AI for your SOP editing. So you want to refine your grammar and provide clarity. SOP editing. So what this means is that your SOP is already written. You want AI to help you edit your SOP. So let's look at some of the prompts also for that. Give me a second. Yeah. So I have my SOP. I have my SOP pasted. And I will add this command. Edit my statement of purpose for grammar and clarity, conciseness. So let's say you could add numbers. You could just leave it as is. Professional tone. And note what I have here. Do not change my meaning or add new content because the AI is used to doing that. It will try to sneak something into your story. You don't want the AI to change your story. So you will have this here. Let's see if I don't have permission. I have some statement of purposes here. I could have dropped some in and then we will see what it would have done. But I don't have permission to use anybody's statement of purpose. So I will just leave it at that. So you can use this prompt, drop in your own statement of purpose, and then see the magic that AI does. Let me see. Yeah, let me see if I could get a sample. I know someone, if I use their statement of purpose, they will not be mad. Let me. Yeah. Let me use this one. I might have to hide the name. So let's say I have this statement of, it will ask for my statement of purpose. So let's say I have this statement of purpose. You just have to copy it. Show in test field. Yeah. So there's somebody's statement of purpose. So GPT will what? Here is your edited statement of purpose with improved grammar, clarity, conciseness, tone, while keeping your meaning unchanged. So I'm not going to read this, but then just like you see with the prompt, it would have gone through, corrected my grammar. That's all, like it might have done all the things I need to do to the statement of purpose. That's another way you could use it for. You can also use it to make your SOP.
Kofi, a quick comment. Kofi, a quick comment on the statement of purpose.
Yeah.
So now that admission and scholarship has become a little bit competitive, what are the things that are not necessary for us to include in our SOP?
Can you come again? I didn't hear the last part of your question.
Like, you see, now the application has become a little bit competitive.
Yeah.
Now we have a lot of people who wants to study abroad. So we want to know what are some of the ingredients that are not necessary for us to capture in our SOP, which may end up maybe affecting the quality of application we are putting in. And what are some of the things we have to stress on in our SOP?
Yeah, I feel like the key element of the SOP which can help your admission is alignment. Alignment. If your SOP is able to align you to a particular program's goals, or better still, a professor's area of study, then you stand a better chance of hearing from them. Because if you ask me, SOPs generally follow a structure. The only difference has to do with the story you are telling, basically. So apart from how you are telling your story and how I am telling my story, what is beneficial to the university is we are bringing you in to come and do something also for us. What I always tell people is Americans are not giving you money for free. The question is, what can you also do for me? That's how it works here. It's not about, hey, come, I'm going to pay your school fees and dash you a stipend. No, that's not what they are doing here. It's about what can you also do for me. So if your statement of purpose is not, it's not telling me what you can do for me. If let's say my department is looking at ABC and you are talking about XYZ, you are off. You can't help us. You see, we can give you admission or we can offer you admission, but for funding you will not help because we went to write for these research funds to be able to generate deliverables, and you might not be able to contribute to it. So I feel like your alignment to what the department is looking for is key. So if let's say you want to go into a program where they need leadership qualities, and within your SOP there is nothing about leadership in it, you definitely there is no alignment. Personally, that's what I feel. Though SOP is not the only document they would consider in your admission process, but alignment is also it's always key. Alignment is always key. Yeah,
Okay, thank you very much.
good. Yeah, another so I'll continue with the prompting. Another will be sometimes people use AI to generate these whole SOPs, which is against the ethical use of AI. But then you can use a prompt to make you sound human a little bit, because sometimes if you leave this, even if you have all your ideas, you have your story, your own story, AI can generate a statement of purpose for you which carries your story, but then everybody will be able to know, oh, this was generated by AI, though it has your story. So you can also use it to make it sound human. Like we say, anti-AI detection. The prompt you would also use for that will be, so I will use that same SOP. Rewrite this SOP to sound natural, human, and authentic. Avoid overly robotic or generic phrases. Maintain my voice. Then I send. So what the GPT does is it will now write my SOP and try to humanize it. Sometimes I would tell it to write it like a fifth grader, like someone in class 5, because I know I'll have to go in and then rewrite it. So there are other follow-ups I could do, because if you are writing English for someone in class 5, you will not be using any big English. Yeah. So after it has written it in to a level where the English, they're using very simple words and stuff, I'll be able to go in and then rephrase sentences and do whatever I have to do. But note, it will have to be your own story. It will have to be your own story. So that's another way that you can use AI to help refine your grammar and clarity. Sometimes you have so many ideas, your statement of purpose ends up being 3 pages. You want to cut the word count and fit everything onto 2 pages. Some schools can tell you you should not exceed 1,000 words. So how do you do that? You should be able to use AI to do that. It should be able to help you cut down your word count. So this is a simple prompt that I can also use for that. I will just add that prompt here. It had already suggested it here, if you can see. So I will go, this is my prompt. Reduce this SOP from maybe from so and so to 2,000 words while preserving the key message and impact. And then I say, so SOP will help me to make this more concise, keeping the meaning and kind of maintaining the originality. Note, I'll have to go back to this and I'll say rephrase, rewrite, or do whatever. Make sure always know your story is important. Don't allow the AI to write your story for you. So that's another way you could use that in your statement of purpose. Now, the next one we will be looking at will be align your story with program goals. How do you align your story with the program goal? So every program that you are applying into, there are some things, there might be focus areas within the program that you want to align to. So how are you able to align your story to the goals of the program? So yeah, so for prompt 7, I will look at your program fit alignment. How do you align your program to the goals? Give me a quick second. Prompt for program alignment, which is key, that was what I was talking about. This is what you would do. Let me clear this. So I will go like this. Here is my SOP and the program description. So what you do is you paste your SOP and then you post the program description, because you are trying to draw an alignment between the program and your SOP. Align my SOP to better reflect 1, the program strengths, 2, the faculty research areas, 3, career outcomes. Do not fabricate experiences. So we are warning GPT not to include its own whatever. We want GPT to.
Kofi, yeah. We are interested here. Why would you put in such a prompt that the AI shouldn't fabricate experiences?
Yeah, because we are so far as AI can generate a generic SOP for you, it means AI is very good with storytelling. You know, so it means if
so does it mean AI can lie?
AI lies. Yeah, that's a funny one. So if AI sees ABC, AI might want to add DEF to make it look more polished. AI is the king of settings. That's what I would say. He's the king of settings. So you want AI to keep your
the guys who are finding it difficult to propose to lead business. Now AI has come for you.
Yeah, AI is the king of settings. So if you are not careful, he will be saying things that will make it obvious, like, oh no, this was written by AI. So you want to keep your original story. You just want to create an alignment, a better alignment with the program description. So once you do that, the AI has no choice. It has to obey what you're saying. So that's exactly what will happen. So this will be a sample prompt for something like that. The next will be faculty alignment. You are applying to a program. You might have targeted a faculty member in the program who even knows. You might have sent cold emails to that professor expressing interest to work in their research group. Your statement of purpose should carry that same information. At least your research interest should align with what that professor is doing. So how do you align your statement of purpose with what the professor, or maybe what most of the professors in the department are doing? So faculty alignment. It is similar to the program fit alignment. This time around, faculty alignment. So what do you also do with that with respect to your statement of purpose? A good prompt will be this prompt. Based on this professor's research. So let's say I used one professor's Google Scholar page. So let's say based on this professor's research, help me connect my interest to their work in my SOP in a natural and specific way. So you are using AI to help you strike that alignment between what you want, what the professor is doing, and what needs to be in your statement of purpose. And a good way will be, you remember when I started, I said when you come to the AI, you would have to let the AI know you. So if the AI knows that you are going through the study abroad process, they know your GPA, they know your area, they know programs you're looking at, you might have even been improving your SOP. The AI already knows your story, so they know how to go with this. So based on this professor's research, I put in the link. If you have maybe a description, you could copy and paste it. Help me connect my interest to their work in my SOP in a natural and specific way. And then you send it. The AI will find a way to understand the connection. So it has created the connection between what you are doing and what that professor is doing. And then you see natural areas of overlap. So it's been able to identify areas that maybe based on my background, what I've been doing as compared to what the professor is also doing, and areas where there is alignment. You see, say the natural overlap is this area. SOP ready paragraph, natural but not robotic. So my academic interests strongly align with. So if I have to write, this strongly will go. So I will not just go in, copy this and paste. No, I'll go I'll pick the concept and then rewrite that whole paragraph. That's what I will do. That makes my work easier. So if you want it more personal, stronger version, my long-term goal of becoming, you see, this is much more, the English is kind of toned down a little bit. In this regard, Prof, whatever, it's particularly compelling. So yes, so that's another way that you can do it. So many ideas, so many clues. That will make my statement of purpose better. The next will be, okay, we have this, we have 15. Strengthen weak areas. So you can use your AI to help you strengthen weak areas within your statement of purpose, to help strengthen you weak areas within your statement of purpose. So a simple prompt will also be, after you've written your statement of purpose, you can tell the AI to review my SOP and identify weak points. Example, unclear goals, weak motivation, lack of impact. Suggest specific improvements. So you paste your statement of purpose. I'm sure it will send you a report. Let me do that quickly and see what it gives. So you want the AI to be your reviewer. Maybe your first line of reviewer before you even go. So you see, that started analyzing. 1, weak opening, too generic, not personal enough. Fix it with, then they made suggestions. 2, overloaded and run-on sentences. Many sentences are too long and packed with ideas, which reduces clarity. Vague motivation, not sharp enough. Research interests are broad, need focus. So all these are very important things you would have to do to help you fix things within your statement of purpose. Program fit is weakly integrated. You see, repetition and redundancy. So it will do so much for you. So it is not just about writing and saying you are done. The AI can help review and analyze your statement of purpose and tell you areas that are weak, areas you can improve, where there are grammatical errors and all that. It will be able to do that for you. So you should be able to go through this yourself, correct all these things before you even send it to someone to look over for you.
Kofi?
Yeah.
So we've spent 2 hours, 11 minutes now. So before we continue, we want to know, why would you go through all this pain to teach us this prompt in order to be successful in studying in the USA?
Oh, I've just been I've been a study abroad enthusiast. I'm sure Senior Fred knows this. I don't have any motivation. I would say I just like to help people who also want to do it. I feel like for some people, if they don't get this opportunity, things will be very hard for them. So if I'm able to share the little that I know, it might be able to help someone. Even if I'm able to help one person, that's enough. Yeah, and I'm proud to say that I've been able to help people to go through this process. Yeah, they are here. Who knows? It might have helped their families and all that. So that's the motivation, honestly.
That's nice. Some people are like Abraham in the Bible. If they don't move from where they are, God is not going to bless them. So it's good. It's good you've come out with that. Thank you so much, and may God bless your good work for thinking about us. So
Good.
hopefully we will take into practice these prompts that you are giving us, and we will be successful. Now, from the look of things, I'm even trying to conclude that this generation should be more successful when it comes to study abroad compared to. You said, when did you move? 2008.
Yeah, I started my study abroad in 2006. At the time, you could not use your Ghana bank card to pay for application fees. You could not. So there were a lot more challenges at the time. I think things are way easier, though the competition is keen now because the information is out there, and I think it's a good thing, But we had clear obstacles, Paying for application fee was not easy. You couldn't use your bank card. You had to go through some ways. They had to post your I-20, just like Senior Fred was saying. They had to post your I-20 to you in Ghana. So a lot has changed in terms of the process. It is still the same, but a lot has changed. It should be way easy doing this now. Like I tell people, if maybe I know some of these things are new now, the whole process would have been different. Yeah, that's what I can say. Yeah. So let me
That's interesting.
continue.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
continue. Yeah.
So we've done cut down. Yeah, I think we pass here. Like I said, I'm spending a little bit time on SOP because that's where a lot of the students are guilty. That is where most people will go to AI, and they will use it for all sort of things. So alignment, faculty alignment, strengthen weak areas. We are done with this side. And then others. So others generally SOP evaluator. So you could use AI to evaluate your SOP. After the SOP is written, you can use AI as a prompt, as a reviewer to review your SOP for you. So if you want to do that, this is what you would have to. You can input a prompt, something like act as a graduate admissions committee member. Critically evaluate my SOP and score it on clarity, originality, fit with program, strength of motivation. Give honest feedback and improvements. So if I want better answers, I will post the program description and then I'll post my SOP. Right? Let me just post the SOP. I don't have any program prepared. So I'll just post the SOP. But if I want really, if I want the best analysis for this or the best evaluation, then I would have to post the program description also. So I have that. Yep. So what the GPT does as the admissions committee perspective. So you are telling GPT to act as an admissions committee member and score my SOP. You see what I got here? Clarity, 5.5 over 10. Originality, 6.5 over 10. Fit with program, 6 over 10. Strength of motivation, 7.5. So overall, it's 6.4. That is low. That is very low. You see? That's very low. And then it goes on to tell me places that the issues I have, examples, and how I can fix it. It doesn't get better than this. So instead of you coming to me to do all these things for you, you would have to run your SOP through this, fix all your issues, so that at least when you bring it to me, I'll be able to look at some of the other things that might not send, that might not make your SOP. How do I even put it? At least I'll not be able to say, oh, you used GPT to write. You should have fixed all these problems already. So if I were you, I will use the GPT as an evaluator for my SOP, and I should be shooting for 8 over 10 here for the overall score. I should be shooting for 8 over 10. 6.4 over 10, that's low. I would say that's a fail. I should be shooting for about 8.5 or 8 over here. Yep, so that's one way you could use AI to your advantage for SOP evaluation. You can compare your SOP with a strong SOP. So if, let's say, you are applying to a particular program, you have a sample SOP. You can compare your SOP with the strength of the other SOP and suggest and highlight areas. The AI should be able to highlight areas that you should be able to improve. So this will be the prompt. Compare my SOP with a strong sample for, let's see, masters in chemistry. Highlight gaps and how to improve mine. So what I'll do is I might be able to send a link of the strong SOP, or I can copy it and paste, and then I'll hit send. So this is what GPT did. It first tells you what a strong master's SOP in chemistry looks like. Everything is broken down here. Then the comparison comes. So that also goes a long way to help. Now we're done with SOP. I'll just do something briefly on CV resume optimization. Ben, I don't know if you have any questions. So I am almost touching on everything you need in the study abroad process. CV optimization. Do you have any questions before I continue?
Yeah, Kofi, you can continue. You drop the question as at when it comes.
Okay. I'm just hoping when I'm done, people will not have too many questions because it's already a long one. Yeah. So for CV, how can you use AI to help with your CV? The first is AI can help format your CV to the US standards. Back in Ghana and other parts of Africa, there are different ways by which we write our own CVs. And if you're going to use that to apply for school, you need to change that into an academic US standard CV. So the AI will be able to do that for you. I'll drop prompts for that. You can use the AI to highlight your relevant experience. So if you have an idea where the job description is, you could copy job description and you will tell the AI to help you highlight your relevant experience. That can also be done. It can also help you to use strong action words. So I wouldn't, this will not take too much time. So let's say you want to format your CV to US standards. Prompt 1 will convert your CV to US standards. Prompt 2 will compare your academic CV with a general resume distinction for work. And prompt 3, we will tailor our resume for assistantships. So I'll go on. For prompt 1, if you want to use GPT for CV optimization, I will use this prompt. Convert my CV into a US-style academic resume suitable for graduate school applications. Ensure 1 to 2 pages. Clear sections. Reverse chronological order. Clean professional formatting. So if I had a CV, I could just drop that here. Let me see if I have one here. I can copy a sample CV. I don't have permission to use this, but let me see. Nobody will see the name. So I have someone's CV. I will not show the name. So I send. So there's a sample CV that I have for someone. Yeah, they had a good GPA. I can show them here. So they broke down the CV. It's been arranged into an academic CV format just by using the prompt and pasting it. It has generated my academic CV for me. So I will just have to go in, improve it, tighten some loose ends, compare to sample academic CVs. And then I will see the work has almost been done, So that is one prompt that I could use. Another one will be academic CV versus resume distinction. Academic CV versus resume distinction. So if let's say you have a CV resume that is tailored for work, but this time around you want to use it for education. So you want to generate an academic resume from your professional resume. What prompt can you use? You should be able to do something like transform my CV into a graduate school academic CV, not a job resume. Highlight research, academic achievements, and relevant experience. That's a prompt I will use for that. I will not run that because I don't have one here. Then I will go to the last one, tailor for assistantships. Tailor for assistantships. So depending on the area that I will be applying, the prompt can be optimize my CV specifically for teaching assistant and research assistant roles in mechanical engineering. Emphasize teaching, research, leadership, and technical skills. So if, let's say, you want to include something for assistantships in your CV, that will be a good prompt that you can use. Now we will go on to how you would be able to use that to highlight your relevant experience. So with the prompt 4, you should be able to extract relevant experience, reframe unrelated experience, and add impact and results. So I have all this here. I will go through it quickly. I don't want to go past 3 hours, so I will just rush through this now. So from my CV below, so it means you would have your CV pasted. Identify and highlight the experience most relevant to a graduate program in so and so. So if you have the graduate program, at least you can link the AI to the address, and then you will tell it to reorder and rewrite and maximize for impact. And then that will do just that. The next will be to reframe unrelated experience. To reframe unrelated experience. That's why I was saying AI could be good when it comes to settings. So if, let's say, your experience is not very related, but like you want to create a relation, then you'll be able to use AI to rewrite your work experience to show that at least there were some transferable skills that might still be relevant to you pursuing graduate studies. So there's a good prompt you can use. I'm not going to write that. It said rewrite my work experience to show transferable skills relevant to graduate study in masters in so and so, even if the jobs are not directly related. So we are telling it to definitely it will be able to. There could be some relation, but you might just not know, or you are just not seeing it. But AI can see it, so it will be able to generate something for you. In all this, know that you are smarter than the AI. So whatever AI gives you, go over it, and if possible, reword things yourself. Yeah, so I would add impact and results. That is similar. There are prompts for that. We can also use strong action prompts. So we can use a prompt to upgrade our bullet points. Simple, you can say something like rewrite my bullet points using strong action verbs and impactful language. You can replace weak phrases within your CV, and you can generate powerful bullet points. I will skip all this because these are pretty straightforward. You would have to drop them in there. Now, I'll talk a little bit about this. ATS optimization. ATS optimization. So there are applicant tracking systems. So if, let's say, you've applied for a graduate assistantship role where there is a job description, it is a job, though you are working on graduate study. But graduate assistantships, there are some positions that are actual jobs that you have to apply to. So you will be able to use the ATS optimization to help you to be selected or to be considered for the position. So for that, I will go in and add the prompt for that. So you can say, optimize my resume for the applicant tracking system for graduate assistantship for the role. So you know the role. And you can paste the whole job description if you have it. Then include, or you can just include the relevant keywords. The AI will help do that for you in your CV or resume. Then the last part is, don't forget we are writing a statement of purpose, and then we need to have a matching CV to the statement of purpose. So you cannot say in your statement of purpose you did A, B, and C, and then in your CV you are saying you were doing ROS. No, there needs to be an alignment. So you need to be able to match your CV to the SOP. That's another one that you can do. So you can align your CV to your statement of purpose. So align my CV with my statement of purpose. So both tell a consistent and compelling story for the graduate application. Within your own GPT, your statement of purpose will be known, your CV will be known. So that alignment can be created. And you can even go in, do an evaluation to look at where differences are and areas you can improve. With the prompting, you should be able to do that. Then similarly, like we had done for the statement of purpose, you can also use the AI as a reviewer for your CV. So the AI can act as a graduate admissions reviewer. It can critique your CV and suggest improvements to increase your chances of getting funding or assistantship. That's what we have here also. So that is the prompt that you would use for that.
Dr. Kofi, it's been a great episode. It's mind blowing. That's what Rima is saying. She said today's episode is mind blowing. We've had a lot of insightful episodes since we started the podcast so far, and it gets better. Today it's been amazing. If you're just tuning in, you're still on the Fred Effect Steady About podcast. It's been over 2 hours, and mostly we don't do such number of hours. And we're supposed to. It's been a lot of back and forth at the background, but Dr. Kofi, we are grateful that you spend your precious time. For somebody who has been in the US close to 20 years since 2008, that's amazing. A lot of experiences, both immigration and non-immigrant, ideas. If you want to reach out to Dr. Kofi, he'll be super. He has been super helpful to all of us, and he'll be super happy to assist you as well. Right. Remember that. This will still be live across all the Fred Effect social media platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, on X, and also on Instagram. You can still watch it live after we are done with the podcast. And so check it out. If you want to re-experience whatever we are streaming live here as well today as well. All right, Dr. Kofi. I don't know the final stuffs you have for us before we are able to wrap up.
Well, I want us to run.
Okay.
So
right.
Interview prep, which the mock interviews, you can use AI to simulate both your admission interviews and your assistantship interviews. So I will just rush through this one. I think I only have a few more slides to go.
Right.
So example prompts, there are prompts for full mock interviews, for common questions practice. Let me show that one. Maybe
just to give a context, remember that if you're applying to universities in the US, remember, all the prompts that Dr. Kofi gave, it can be applied to the UK. You just have to rephrase it, and you do not necessarily have to use everything hook, line, sinker. Just modify things to suit your own situation, right? So the program that we are using are sample programs. If yours is not in that way, you can use the program that you want to study as well. But for the US, if you gain admission, you have your I-20 or you have your scholarship, you have to prepare for an in-person visa interview. At the moment, the Accra embassy is where you have to go to if you're Ghanaian. If you are watching us from a different country, you have to go where the embassy is located. You complete what we call DS-160 application. You have to also fill out the AVIT portal in the context of Ghanaians, and then you also have to have paid what we call the service fee. Now, after your payment, you are going to meet a visa officer in person for an in-person visa interview. Now, what Dr. Kofi is trying to help us do here is that it is possible to use the AI as an interviewer to guide us to prepare for this specific interview. And it works across how he has been doing it, that you provide enough information to the AI so that it will be able to help you prepare for this visa interview as well. Dr. Kofi, let's move on.
Okay. Yeah. So So I will start with the admission interview, the full mock interview. I will only show the prompt. So for the interview, the full mock interview, the prompt will be act as a graduate admissions interviewer for your program. Ask me one question at a time and wait for my response. So we are doing something like a simulation. So for, let's say, a master's degree in chemistry. I like chemistry. Ask me one question at a time and wait for my response. After each answer, give feedback and suggest improvements. Let's go. We'll say, great. Let's run it like a real graduate admissions interview. So question 1, why do you want to pursue a master's degree in chemistry, and what specific areas of chemistry interest you most? I have always longed to develop drugs, and I am interested in, in an area for drug discovery, example. So this is just a short example. Good point. This is a solid starting point, but right now it's too vague. So you see what the GPT does. The answer I gave is too vague and underdeveloped for a competitive chemistry master's interview. So it is going to help me to refine it. Feedback, what is good? You clearly mentioned drug development, strong, relevant motivation. You point towards drug discovery. What needs to be improved? I want to develop too generic. I want no academic connection. So it will analyze this and then it will tell me the things it needs me to talk about, the origin of the interest, academic exposure, my specific interest area, my future goal. So example, then it will go on to provide me a response. I've always been interested in drug, particularly because of so and so. So this will help in your graduate school admission interviews. You'll be able to use AI to simulate your admission interviews, graduate school admission interviews. Another thing is you can use the AI to generate common graduate school interview questions for master's degree in chemistry and provide strong sample answers. So it can also generate interview questions for you with responses. Why do you want to pursue? What specific area of chemistry are you interested in? With the answer, tell us about your research experience. How have you, so this is a 10-point question and answer section for you to help you to prepare. You can expand it to 20 to 30, depending on how you want to go with your preparation. You know which query to put in there. Now, the third point will be personalized interview. Personalized interview. So based on your profile, the prompt will be like, based on my profile, simulate a graduate admission interview. Ask questions tailored to my background, strengths, and weakness. So this will also be similar to the previous one I have shown. So these are ways that AI can help you simulate, yes, personalized interview. And then the fourth one will be, you can tell the AI to actually challenge you to tough questions. So that will be, ask me difficult or tricky graduate school interview questions, gaps, low GPA, career change, evaluate my answers honestly. So we'll be doing that whole back and forth again. I'm not going to do that now, but that's what is going to happen. So say you are coming from a background that's not strictly chemistry. Why should we admit you into a chemistry program? Yes, this is a tough question. So if I provide an answer, the AI will critique my answer and then make suggestions and tell me what to do or what to say and what not to say. And so you could be doing your own interview in preparation for a graduate school admission interview. So that's what we have. Especially if you have to go interview with a professor, you know their research areas. You could load everything in and tell GPT to help you generate possible questions or possible areas questions could be asked. So you use that for your preparation. So that is that for say assistantship mock interview. That's similar. So real-time feedback and improvement. So answer evaluation, it will improve your weak answers, So these are all prompts that I have that we can do. Body language and delivery tips, realistic pressure simulation. So I will show the prompt for that one, realistic pressure simulation. So I will tell the AI to conduct a pressure simulation. Conduct a high pressure scholarship interview. Interrupt me, ask follow-up questions, and challenge my answers like a real panel. So yeah, you are telling AI to be a panel member interviewing you. So say, why should we invest in you instead of someone with a stronger chemistry background? So you can be doing this to prepare, So it's not like you always need someone. If you can get someone to go through the process, that's better. But you can actually use this to prepare before you go into a real mock interview. I'm sure if you go, then they will be able to compare answers and then tell you, hey, don't say they do that. But then you should be able to do this before you go for any of these mock interviews, because it will go a long way to help the kind of answers it will give you. And the good thing is, when I get to the visa, it can take you through a whole visa interview and tell you whether they are granting you a visa or they are denying you a visa. I did one for a B1, B2, and it was very interesting. I won't have time to do it today. So depending on your responses and all that, you could be going back and forth. After that, it will tell you whether you've been given the visa or you're going to be denied.
Yeah.
The next one will be, I think so assistantship interview, that will be similar to these ones that we are talking about. We've talked about this. Then the F1 interview. So this was what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Realistic visa officer simulation. That is very good. Realistic visa officer simulation. I'll post that one and then I will, I think that's the last one. So this will be the prompt. That will be act as a US visa officer, conducting an F1 visa interview. Ask me questions one at a time. Keep it strict, concise, and realistic. After each answer, evaluate my response and suggest improvement. So if I go, it will start. Why do you want to study in the US? So I type, why do you want to study in the US? I am going to, I think I deviated to pursue whatever. Then the next question will follow. So it is going to be back and forth, just like that, and then it will tell you areas that you need to improve with. Why do you want to study in the US? I want to study, let me try one, for the amazing research facilities at Ohio State University Department of Civil Engineering. Example. Let's see what it says. Say your answer. I want to study for the amazing research facility at Ohio State University Department of Civil Engineering. You see the assessment, honest, decision risk level, moderate risk. What is good? You mentioned the specific university, good. You reference research facilities, relevant. Problems, too short, sounds memorized or unprepared. No clear purpose. what exactly will you study? Why the US or other? Why the US over other countries?
Yeah.
What will you do after your studies? Amazing facility is vague and commonly used. How to improve it? It will tell you. Then after that, it will give you a sample strong answer. And then the next question comes. So that is how you will be able to use the AI to simulate your own visa interview. The same way you can use that also for a high pressure interview, similarly, like I have shown.
Yeah.
And you can also tell AI to limit your answers to 60 seconds. Yeah. So basically, that's it. You can also use the AI to generate frequently asked questions for your visa interview. And depending on your profile, if you have everything fed into AI, you can tell it to personalize.
The visa questions.
Yes, to personalize your visa questions. And you can even tell the AI, so these are all prompts. Why this school? Ties to home country, funding explanation. There are prompts for all this. And then the weaknesses. AI can address your red flags, it can detect inconsistencies, and it can score your interview, just like I was saying. So depending on how you are doing, it will let you know whether you have to do like you should be doing more hard work, or you're okay, continue,
Yeah.
like go on, carry on with your practice. So in all this, we were talking about ethical use of AI. Don't just copy AI generated essays blindly, and just don't submit generic content. Use AI as only a guide, an editor, and an assistant. Note, AI will not replace your hard work. It will reward those who use it strategically. So, what I would say, I'm concluding, is that keep going. This whole process, it takes time, it takes strategy. But if you don't stop, you will win. Senior Fred.
All right, awesome. It's been a great session. It's been a long session as well.
Yeah.
But very, very, very insightful. This is something we've never done on the podcast before. Probably this will be the first time you are seeing Dr. Kofi. He is amazing, and we are always on the TikTok live with Festus as well. So follow Dr. Kofi on TikTok if you're watching us on TikTok. And Dr. Kofi, we are very grateful to have you on. We probably should bring you back for another session, right? So that we can delve into other aspects of the whole application, share your experiences and all that. All right. So any final words? I know you just concluded, but any final words for anyone who tuned in today?
Oh, what I would say is, if you have plans for study abroad, you should start. You should stop dreaming. You should stop just talking about it. Take action, and it doesn't matter the GPA you have. Maybe you have 2.5. I showed here that there are schools that you can get into with your 2.5.
Right.
So at least start from somewhere. Start learning the processes, and that there is help. So just don't be using that as an excuse. Take action, and eventually you will win.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kofi. It's been amazing having you on and spending this number of hours with us. We are super grateful. You mentioned you're going to put your email out there. How do people get in touch with you? Do you have, other stuff that you're working on that you want people to know about?
Yeah, so those in the Western region, this one I'll be a little biased.
Right.
I grew up in the Ismail area, and I feel like there is not a lot of information in the area. So to help those in the area, I set up a center in Enyinase. Enyinase is a big area. It's my area. It's called a big hub.
Okay.
So if you need some of this info, if you want to study your study abroad process, general travel, consulting, counseling, or whatever, to the US. I'm biased to the US. So everything I do, is to the US. If you have kids that you want to give them an edge, I have a program I adapt coding for kids, and eventually I'm going to I'm trying to educate kids from 8 to 16.
Okay.
At least they should know Python. That's
Right.
the focus. So I have a curriculum for that where they will learn typing all the way through Python coding.
Right.
The big hub, yes, it's in the university, so they can check it. Apart from that, we do all kinds of printing there, from banners to t-shirts to documents to whatever. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. And Big Hub has a platform on TikTok, right?
I just created it. Actually, I just started just a few months ago. So yeah,
Okay, great.
we
So you
do.
can follow the account as well. All right. Great having you on. We really appreciate your
Yeah,
time, and
my
hopefully we get you back.
sorry, my email will be. Let me just type
All
it
right.
here.
Mhm.
Uh, Sometimes I don't have time to reply, but you
Yeah.
can you can send it anyways. You might be lucky. I
Sure.
get time
Sure.
to
That's fine.
reply to email sometimes, but
Mhm.
other times I don't. So that's my email. Kofi
Can you
Doctor
repeat it so that
Edu. It's
so Kofi
Kofi
Doctor
Doctor Edu. That's a
edu
Kofi Dredu at
right
gmail.com.
at gmail.com. So Doctor
Yeah,
Kofi Doctor edu, that is
right.
edu at
Edu
gmail.com.
at gmail.com. Yeah,
All right. So
that's
I'm
only
sharing
for
it.
steady abroad stuff. Yeah.
Great. If you want to study abroad, you can send an email to Dr. Kofi or Kofi Doctor. He holds a PhD, so that's a big deal, right? So, and that's the email showing on the screen. It's been a great session. Thank you so much for coming through, Dr. Kofi.
Yeah, thanks. And I don't know, but
All right. So it's been an amazing session. It's been the Steady Abroad podcast with a Fred Effect. It's almost like 3 hours at the moment, and we are wrapping up. So next week we'll come your way with the Q&A session. All the team members will be on. We'll be responding to all your questions. Are you starting the process? Are you currently working on it? What questions do you have? We'll be happy to respond to them as well. And remember, you can send a direct message to the Fred Effect team on all our social media platforms. If you need help with any of the Steady Abroad processes, just send us a message. If you're confused about something, we'll be happy to, clarify things for you as well. It's on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and then on TikTok as well. We are the biggest Steady Abroad content platform. And thank you for making time to tune in every week. We'll see you next week. Please be positive and understand that everything will be fine. We also have a mentorship program. There is a WhatsApp platform that for close to 10 years we have been using to assist people prepare for their visa interview. Send us a direct message on any of our social media platforms, especially on Instagram. We'll be happy to assist you. Remember that there are some individuals who are using our name, the brand name, and then creating email accounts. So some people download our videos and then they put it on other platforms. They'll put their phone number on, sometimes American numbers, and then an email on. If you're dealing with any of such individual, please be careful. The Fred Effect will not contact you via email or maybe any WhatsApp number like that. We only deal with people through our social media platform, especially on Instagram, because it's verified and you can call, you can send a message, you can send documents, whatever. It makes it easier for us. So please be careful. And if somebody is contacting you saying that my name is Asumadu, meanwhile you said you're chatting with the Fred Effect, please be careful with that. The name has been the Fred Effect. Please be positive and understand that everything will be fine. Thank you for tuning in, and we will meet next week.